Okay, well, here it is. This is my BMW K75 RT, 1995. And what I'm going to do is strip it down and put it into a bit of a cafe racer. This is the second one that I've kind of done. The first one that I did was a Yamaha Virago XV750, and this is going to be my new cafe racer. As you can see, the previous owner has already taken the front fairings off, which has saved me a bit of work. So all I need to do is handlebars, speedo, and the big fat ass. So take this big comfy seat off, and then I have a few things that I'd like to keep, specifically the knobby tyres for the minute. I'm going to paint this rail, and I'm going to paint the exhaust. I'm not going to bother doing much to the exhaust because it's a bit expensive, and I've spent most of my money on new electrical parts, which I'll show you in a minute. And this will be the first time I've tried to do quite a lot of the wiring myself, which is going to be interesting. So over to what I've got here. First off, high temp paint. We're going to put that on the exhaust. I've got some brown grips which I'm going to wrap in like a tennis racket leather grip tape anyway, which I did on my previous bike. Super cheap, super awesome, feels really nice in the hands. I've got my clip-ons, standard clip-ons for a K75. This is the big one, the Mo Unit Blue, which is going to do a lot of my electrical work. I've got the Mo button. I think that's what this is. Yep. Mo button, and I've got the proper wiring harness, so I know exactly how much wire I need and where it's going to go. I've got these cheap LED indicators for the minute until I can actually save up for the proper Moto Gadget ones, but these four are going to do me just fine, and a really cheap tail light strip, which again I'll probably update once I can save a bit more money. This was, I ummed and ahed about like a proper speedo, like an Acewell or something. I ended up with this one, which you've probably all seen on eBay. It's good because it's got the gear indicator on it, which this bike actually has, and it's got everything I need. Plus, with the addition of this thing, it should be plug and play. This thing is called a Magic Box, which basically turns the existing OEM plugs for the speedo, which are somewhere in there. It turns them into these, which I just match up with these. So I'll have to do a little bit of splicing and cutting. Plug them straight into there, plug the OEM clip into that, and it should be away you go. It fixes the BMW K neutral light issue, not to mention the fact that I can use the OEM speedo sensor, and I don't have to worry about too much. So this is where a lot of my money's gone into the Magic Box and the Moto Gadget M unit. So again, it's really about getting the wiring right and getting it working so that this works really cleanly. I can remove a lot of this stuff under here and have that really nice void under the seat, and yeah, this is everything I could find on installing the M unit in a K75. So a couple of things which I'm not sure yet, and hopefully you guys might be able to comment and let me know. whether or not I can use my OEM switches with the M unit without too much messing around, because these ones, as you can sort of see, that's like a push on, push off rather than a click, so I think that one's okay, but things like that are going to be an issue, and same with this one is a bit of a common issue with the M unit and the kill switch. So I've done a bit of research into that, and hopefully there's a few workarounds you can do. I pretty much always turn my bike off with the key anyway, so I'm not really sure if I'll even use it, but one of the issues, I don't know if I can use these. I'm going to need to retrofit, remount these gauges, so the temperature gauge and the petrol gauge. I'm actually thinking of putting them down here somewhere, so that like you can sort of still see them while riding, and keeps this bit nice and trim and neat. I'll put a link in the description for the actual Cafe Racer kit that I've bought. It's still coming from the Netherlands, so I'm still waiting on it, but hopefully it gets here soon so I can actually do a bit up this end, even though it'll be slow with the wiring. But yeah, otherwise, really looking forward to getting into this. The plan for the paint, umming and ahhing about wrapping it or painting it. I think I've chosen a colour, and I'm going to go for British Racing Green, black wheels. And I'm going to black out as much of the chrome around as possible. Not sure about fork gaiters yet. Maybe I'll wait and see how it looks. I can always put them on after, I suppose. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at. So if you guys would like to leave comments about things that you've done, or tips, or even suggestions on what you'd like me to do, this is the first time I've documented it. And when I actually start work, I'm going to use a tripod, but this is actually my workshop at the minute. And yeah, I think I've got everything I need. As I said, just waiting on some parts. Anyways, yeah, please like, comment, and yeah, give it a subscribe so that you can see how the build goes. I'm hoping I'll get it done in 6 months, maybe sooner, depending on time. As I said, I've never rewired a bike and done the electricals before. I've done a few things with indicators and resistors and stuff, and that's what I wanted to avoid, hence getting this M unit. So for those of you who don't know, and my description of this is probably even still going to be quite minimal, this thing is basically a motorbike electrical genius. It gives you the opportunity of removing a lot of the bulky OEM components, such as fuse box, flasher relay, a few other things as well. I'm not sure what other relays you can remove. And basically it will run your all your electrical. You've got a couple of like auxiliaries that you can run really important things, and then you've got things that are quite sort of basic, like your lighting, horn, your indicators, and so on. Obviously it distributes power accordingly so that you don't blow LEDs and that they don't flash incorrectly, again giving you the chance to remove the relays. And this one I went for is the actual blue unit, which gives you a Bluetooth option, and you can link it to your phone. Now, which is in 2021 Feb, you can actually use an iOS app, which I think is sort of a newer development. Used to only be Android, but you can now get the I think it's the M-Ride app, and you can program a lot of settings on your bike, like how long the lights flash for, what you do when you brake, alarms. You can track your distance, you can schedule services and general maintenance, and a whole heap of other things. So I'm really looking forward to getting my head around that and actually understanding the electrical component of the bike. I think that's really all I've got for the minute, until the actual parts come in. but the next video is just going to be stripping it down and taking out some of the wiring that I don't need. And I will see you guys then. Cheers.